So before we get started, do hit this button to subscribe and click this bell to be notified of new content, and do share the video if you found it helpful. Thanks. So hello everybody, welcome to this Facebook Live. Well, I'm going to do a guided relaxation around the topic of dealing with ups and downs. Do let me know you can see me, let me know you can hear me. Otherwise I'll be talking to myself. I could see that there were some people on, but somehow you've all disappeared. I'll just see if I can get you up on my phone. Don't know why that's happened. All right, I'm going to assume you can hear me. Thank you for letting me know, Pam. And do feel free if you want to let me know where you are in the world. Do say hi, it's always nice to know. Coral says yes, can see and hear you. Katina Ann can see as well. Okay, good. Nice to see you, Katina Ann, as well. Hi, Coral. Hi, Pam. Thanks for letting me know. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a guided relaxation. So do close your eyes only if it's safe to do so. All right, and I'll put some background sounds on. Just let me know if the volume's okay, if it's not too loud. So yeah, what I'd like you to do, Isle of Wight. Okay, Katina's saying she's in the Isle of Wight. So thanks for letting me know. All right, so I'd like you to do that. Just make yourself comfortable. Life doesn't always go the way we want it to go. You try hard to do the things that'll help you move forwards, but sometimes a spanner is thrown in the works. So how we deal with these challenges is key. I'd like you to consider that you do have more resources than you know. And we'll explore this in this guided relaxation. So if you don't know, my name is Simon Pimenta. I am a clinical hypnotherapist. And as I've mentioned, I'm asking you to close your eyes, so only do so when it's safe to do so. So don't listen to this recording right now if it's not safe for you to close your eyes. But if it is, I'd like you to just allow yourself to settle comfortably, either sitting in a chair or lying down. Just feel how it feels to have your body supported. Allow your hands and feet to settle in a comfortable position. You may want to uncross your feet. Just make sure you are positioned comfortably. And you can adjust your posture at any time as you allow yourself to enjoy this experience as you are guided through this relaxation. So now bring your attention to anything you would see if your eyes were open. Colours, shapes, textures. Just have an awareness of what you would see. And you can now bring attention to the sounds that you hear. Noticing any sounds that are close by, any sounds that are in the distance. You may notice the gaps between the sounds, or an absence of sounds other than the sound of my voice and the background music. And you can allow those sounds that you don't need to pay attention to wash over you as you allow yourself to listen and to be guided by the sound of my voice. As you bring your awareness to your physical body, just noticing the position of your arms and your hands, your legs and your feet, the contact between your body and any surfaces touching your body, the support your body is getting right now as you sit or lie comfortably. And I'd like you to take a deep breath, breathing in slowly and steadily, and as you slowly exhale, allowing your mind and body to relax, soften and let go. As you breathe in, noticing your chest rising. As you breathe out slowly, noticing your shoulders and chest fall. So again, breathe in slowly and deeply. And as you release the breath slowly, allowing your mind and body to relax. Once more, take in a nice slow breath, and as you slowly exhale, allowing your mind and body to relax. And you can continue to breathe normally. And with every breath, allow yourself to feel more and more relaxed. And I'd like you to take yourself in your mind's eye to a place for you that is really relaxing. It may be a place that you've been to before, or a place that you imagine, a place that you create in your mind. And this is the perfect place for you to relax and let go. As you take in your environment, noticing what you see, noticing the sounds in this special place. Enjoying the physical sensations of being relaxed in this place. You allow yourself to consider the following ideas. We can't always control what happens externally. But for any event, we have choices about how we respond. We can respond in ways that are not helpful. We can respond in neutral ways, and we can respond in helpful ways. And how we respond will affect the outcome. I'd like you to consider that there are times when you've responded to a situation in a resourceful way. And it may be that you surprised yourself with the way you responded to that challenge. And I suspect you learned, either consciously or unconsciously, something important about yourself. You may be able to remember that incident easily, or it may be below your conscious awareness, and you can allow your mind to just ponder that. And it's interesting how when we just let things go, things pop into our mind when we least expect them to. I'd like you to consider that if your goal is to take steps to improve your health and well-being, then we can learn to respond to situations in resourceful ways. There's the story of the school principal who always seems to respond to situations in resourceful ways. And one day someone says to him, "How is it that you always seem to respond to challenging situations in such resourceful ways, with pragmatism and wisdom and calm?" And the school principal said something very interesting. He said, "The evening before, I sit down and I close my eyes, and I get myself into a nicely relaxed state. And I imagine that although I don't know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, I just see myself responding in those resourceful ways. I imagine myself in the situation, just taking a breath, grounding my body, stilling my mind, and just trusting that when I do that, answers will come. It may be that when we experience some ups and downs, that we may allow ourselves to feel what we're feeling, and also allow ourselves to move through those feelings to a state that supports us. It may be that we've learned habitual ways of responding that do not currently serve us, and the good news is that we know we can change at some level. Your brain has the capacity for neuroplasticity, which is the capacity to grow with use. What we practice, we get good at. We can get good at things that are really useful. There's probably something that you've practiced at some point in your life. Maybe it was learning an instrument. Or it could have been something else. But I'd like you to consider that if you're learning to play an instrument, initially you have to think about where to place your fingers to play the chord of C, for instance. But after a while, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just do it unconsciously and automatically. And you can learn to do it really quickly. We can also get good at things that are not useful. Maybe we've practiced not being very calm, or maybe we have been practicing being extremely calm. Maybe we've practiced not being in a state of trust. And we can learn to practice cultivating that state of trust. And as we learn to cultivate that state of trust, accessing that part of us that has that capacity for wisdom, pragmatism, compassion, calm. We can also learn to cultivate acceptance. Accepting the current situation, learning to accept where we are right now. Doesn't mean that we're accepting it forever. I'd like you to consider that there are times when you have just accepted something in a resourceful way. And you did that because you had a sense of trust. Consider that when you have that sense of trust, then it makes it easier to just accept that maybe you overdid it, or maybe someone behaved in a way that didn't support you. Maybe coming from that place of wisdom and compassion, you might see that they just don't have the resources to respond in more helpful ways. When we cultivate that sense of trust and acceptance, we can cultivate more patience towards others and towards ourselves. So I'd like you to consider that if you've experienced a dip and in the past responded in unhelpful ways, you can now choose to respond in more helpful ways. If you've listened to some of my guided relaxations in the past, you'll know that I've had some sailing adventures. I'd like you to consider what a sailor does in a storm. They don't try to beat the storm. They accept the weather. In fact, they do the opposite of trying to beat the storm. They take down the mast. They take down the sail. Because if they didn't, the mast could break. They batten down the hatches and they sit it out. They conserve the energy. They ride the energy of the storm. I find it invigorating to be in those seas which are quite bumpy, and I found that it's possible just to go with it, to allow your body to ride the ups and downs, knowing that it will pass. And the boats are pretty resilient. So I'd like you to consider that dips happen, challenges happen. Sometimes people behave in ways that don't support us, and how we respond is key. We can find ways through. Like the sailor, we may take inspired action. We may conserve our energy. We might ask for support or help or a listening ear. It's okay if we have a dip. If it's okay if we overdo it. And we can use these experiences as an opportunity to dig deep and ask, what resources is this experience asking me to cultivate? I was talking to a client recently who was asking himself this very question. And he recognized that this experience he was having of a dip, having come so far in the last 3 years since we first chatted. That there was room in his toolbox for life for more compassion, for more patience towards himself. So it might be useful to ask yourself, what do I need to remind myself of right now? What do I need to remember right now? I'd like you to notice the difference between those questions and questions like, why has this happened? Why me? Asking ourselves those questions, what do I need to remind myself of right now? What do I need to remember right now? Are more powerful questions. So I would like you to start to get ready to leave this place. As you allow your unconscious mind to learn what you choose to learn from this experience, so you can use it and move forwards in your life and make the changes that you choose to make. So I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when I reach 5, you'll be ready to come back to the room and carry on with your day. Or if you are resting or preparing to sleep, you can just carry on relaxing. So breathe in, allowing those calm feelings to flow through your body as I count 1. And 2, just bring your awareness to where you are right now. As 3, you become aware of the sounds around you. And as you do that, you might reflect on the fact that there were certain sounds that for a little while you weren't paying attention to. Louise in my group coaching shared a technique that she used when she went for a walk. And she said that as she paid attention to what she saw, what she heard, she started to notice things that she'd not noticed before. You can check out that recording on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel, CFS Explored. And 4, as you become aware of your body, you can gently move your fingers and toes. And 5, if you're going to carry on with your day, when you're ready, you can open your eyes, taking your time to come round. And if you're going to carry on resting, you can just continue to enjoy these relaxing feelings. If you'd like to access 7 guided relaxations covering various topics, including some of my sailing adventures, then pop the word relax and type my name so I get tagged, and I will PM you the link to those resources. So thanks everybody for joining me. If you've got any questions, do get in touch. But for now, I'll say thanks for listening and bye for now.